Hello, everyone, and welcome to Time Consuming, a new channel of mine in which I'm going to be breaking down rhythmically interesting parts from songs that I like. I'm Yogev Gabay, and I'm your host for the series. Let's begin.
Yeah, let's start. So, the first song we're gonna do is gonna be Rosetta Stoned by Tool, specifically this very cool section. Now, as a side note, you should know, put it on the side. Oh, side note. When you hear songs that have some kind of polyrhythm going on, if the polyrhythm is very strong and very convincing, you're gonna hear it first before you can figure out what the meter is. But when I break this kind of stuff down, I'm gonna be finding out the time cycle first, or the time signature first, then going to find a subdivision, and only then I'm gonna go find the accents. That's just the logical way to go for me. Okay, so the time cycle. For time cycles, usually I would just go to the section prior to that section we're breaking down and listen to it, because most likely the time signature will stay the same. So, listening to the previous section, we can hear a clear 3-beat pattern, where the snare hits the last beat of every bar, so beat 3 of every bar. And as we slide into this polyrhythmic section, the snare still stays in the same place, so I can assume that we're still in 3/4. Let's call it just 3/4 for the sake of this video. Great, now that we have the time signature, we need to figure out what the subdivision is. Now, for subdivisions, the options are not so many. I like dividing them into 2.5 groups. One group would be the even square kind of divisions. So 2, 4, 8, and so on. 2 would be 8th notes, 4 would be 16 notes, 8 would be 32nd notes, and so on and so forth. Category number 2 would be the 3 side, the triple side. So triplets and sextuplets mainly. That will be the majority of group number 2. And those two groups will be my go-to subdivisions when I look for an answer for a specific part. The last group, or like a half group, is actually divided into 2 mini groups. One of them is just the odd kind of divisions, which are like quintuplets and septuplets, which you don't hear that much. And the other subgroup would be all those subdivisions that are kind of in the middle, in between. It's like, is this triplets? Is this 8th notes? What's going on? Why am I dancing so much? You know what I mean. Okay, back to our point. For this song, we're still in 3/4, and the subdivision sounds very even, sounds very square, and 16 notes seem to be the best fit for this feeling, for this drive. Great, so we have the time signature, we have the subdivision. Now we just need to look at the accents, which are played by the bass drum and the bass guitar. But let's talk about the drums first. The snare is playing beat 3 of every bar. The kick is playing some smaller group of notes that doesn't resolve every bar. It resolves every few bars, more than 1, more than 2, more than 3 even. So we need to check out what that is. If we listen closely to the kick drum pattern, it's very repetitive and it contains 2 groups, a short group and a long group. The short group is 2 16 notes long, and the long group is 3 16 notes long. Now for the bass guitar is playing a very cool version of this groove. For the kick pattern, which plays that small grouping of 5 we just discussed, the bass is playing a low G. And for the snare, beat 3 of every bar, the bass is playing a descending line that starts at G, goes to F, E flat, C, and B flat. Now this is a 5-note line, which means that total, this creates a 5-bar phrase, which is very cool if you're a mega nerd. And it's cool because this 5-note line allows this 5/3 polyrhythm thing to resolve itself fully before starting and repeating again from the top. Usually, as you would see, with these kinds of polyrhythms and groupings, people used to cut it after 4 bars because, 4 bars, you have to cut it after 4 bars. So there you go, you have a 5-bar phrase in 3/4 in 16 notes with a 5/16 note grouping on the kick drum / bass guitar that is divided to 2 and 3. I hope this makes sense to you guys. If this doesn't make sense, let me know in the comments why, and I'll be sure to, I won't fix it, but I'll fix it for the other videos I'm gonna post on, which are gonna be probably, hopefully, once a week. So I'll see you next week. And by I'll see you, I mean you will see me. And by you'll see me, I mean only if you like this and actually look for this next week.